Revelation 2022, from the 10th of August 1941. Carelessness, danger. Thinking, beginning spiritual influence. What is useful for earthly life is not always conducive to the soul's development, but human endeavors are often precisely suited to prevent or unfavorably influence the soul's work. And that is why the human being should understand that fate will grant him failures. He should know that a certain carelessness will take hold of the soul in a permanently favorable life situation, that spiritual striving will diminish, and conversely the desire for the world will reawaken or increase. It is precisely this carelessness which makes the human being strive for more fulfillment of life's pleasures, while worries and hardship weaken the desire for it, and the human being becomes absorbed in the spiritual. The human being's constant struggle on earth stimulates him to reflect, and reflection is the beginning of spiritual contact and thus also the beginning of spiritual influence. Through reflection man enters into the power of otherworldly good or evil forces, depending on the object that prompts him to reflect. If the human being reflects, this is already his will to receive enlightenment. But a carefree life brings so many earthly things close to the human being, which then steer his train of thought in the wrong direction. Only when the human being has completely closed himself off from the world, when spiritual striving moves his entire thinking, can he be granted a carefree life. For then this will change little of his thinking and striving, and his soul's work will not suffer any interruption or unfavorable influence. What puts you humans in a bad mood is often unspeakably beneficial for the soul, for it gives the human being cause for introspection, especially when he suffers from his own bad mood. Then he will try to give an account of himself, and, if he is honest with himself, he will also look for the cause and then make the best resolutions to change. The most important thing in earthly life is always the recognition of oneself. To be mercilessly critical of oneself, to exercise the strictest criticism and not to stop asking God for strength to ennoble one's nature, that is absolutely necessary for the conscious work of the soul. And when the human being feels unburdened, he often slackens. Slackening, however, is a stagnation which leads far more to regression than to progress. Human life must therefore bring disappointments, failures or more or less severe suffering and hardship to the human being for the sake of shaping his soul. Amen.